Chiefs Kingdom, we appreciate you watching today's Chiefs Report by Chat Sports. Here's what we got on tap for you today as we're going to give you the latest update on Justyn Ross, along with now Nick Bolton being injured. Well, is it time to look at a replacement option for him, or do you think the Chiefs can solve that internally? We're talking about all that and more on today's show. Let's get it rolling. My name is Jace Andrews. You're watching the Chiefs Report by Chat Sports. And as mentioned, Justyn Ross is the first topic we are going to hit on today's show as he was arrested yesterday. As if you missed it, we had a short, but I know everybody doesn't see those. It was reportedly a felony charge at the beginning. But today we got some more info on the Chiefs wide receiver and kind of diving into what exactly happened yesterday and what this means for the future of Ross and the Chiefs. Here's what we got on today with the first update coming this morning. The Johnson County website, as more than official than jail booking sheet, is showing a charge as criminal damage, which is a misdemeanor, not a felony. They've also added a misdemeanor domestic battery charge, though. So that was the first update we got, as it was then changed from a felony to a misdemeanor. We got this very, very recently, saying that Justyn Ross appeared via Zoom in court this afternoon, as he is scheduled to be released today on $2,500 bond. His next court appearance will be December 4th, so a little over a month away. Now, the Kansas City Star kind of got us some more information on this, and, well, here's the important parts of it. The criminal complaint states the alleged victim, who the Star is not identifying, is someone whom Ross is or has been in a dating relationship. On radio traffic captured on broadcastify.com, a police dispatcher stated that the alleged victim told police that Ross was dragging her through the house and has torn up the house. This continued on to say the alleged victim suffered minor injuries, according to a Shawnee Police Department offense report. No specific injuries were included. No weapons were involved in the incident per the offense report. The dispatch said that the alleged victim stated that Ross had a gun in the house, but it was not with him at the time. No drugs or alcohol were involved in the incident, the offense report stated. So, this is the big thing here. It's looking like it wasn't just this that may keep Ross off the field. It seems as though this is actually kind of relating back to some football issues. We also got this today coming out basically saying that Albert Breer released this saying that what I've heard is there are also football issues. He's been inconsistent in practice, and while he's big, he's not very fast and struggles running some routes. That makes him a tough fit as an offense where receivers are moved around consistently and asked to be versatile in what they bring to the table. Here's the thing. He's only had 81 snaps this year, and, well, it's not looking too good for his future with the Chiefs. We don't want to speculate on what's going to happen, but ultimately, when you're a guy vying for a spot on a roster and you get yourself into this type of trouble, well, then guess what? It can't be good for the long-term effect of your career. We don't want to speculate, but, man, it stinks because he has a lot of talent, but seems like it wasn't just the issues off the field we found out yesterday. Maybe some in practice as well. Let's transition topics here as we go into the Bolton injury, as again, as we found out yesterday, Nick Bolton will be out for 2 months. So today, given that's 8 games worth of time, we're going to look at some potential replacements for that time being and potentially talk about maybe is it trading one? Is it already with the Chiefs? We're going to talk about that today because honestly, the fix may already be on there. That's the first topic that I want to hit. But before we get there, I'm going to tell you what. The Chiefs are on the road this week against the Denver Broncos in Mile High Stadium, and I want you to do something for me. The Chiefs are on a 9-game road win streak. Let's get 900 likes on today's video for KC's 9-game win streak on the road. Hit that like button. It's free. It's easy. If you're watching this video right now, go sit down there, press that like button. It's super simple, takes 2 seconds, and I know Chiefs Kingdom has got me because 900 is a lot, but I'm putting my faith in Chiefs Kingdom. You got me. Hit that like button. I really appreciate it. Let's go into the linebacker depth chart here as Willie Gay Jr. as outside along with Leo Chenal, and then Drue Tranquill, who will replace Nick Bolton as the middle linebacker. Not the first time Drue Tranquill has had to replace Bolton. Bolton missed 3 games earlier this year, but he was really effective against his former team this past Sunday when they faced the Chargers. It was somewhat of a revenge game for Tranquill versus the Chargers. He had 2 tackles, 1 tackle for loss, 1 sack, and 1 pass breakup. And again, that was not the first time he had come in and suited up in replacement of Nick Bolton. He's been a guy who has been around the system a lot because of the Bolton injury he suffered earlier. In fact, on the season, he's got 2.5 sacks, a forced fumble, a couple tackles for loss, and just under 40 tackles. A lot of that because when he came in for Nick Bolton, it wasn't just, oh, we like him. It was, we want him on the field a lot. When Bolton came back, the Chiefs' defense was actually struggling as Coach Spag was trying to put in both Bolton and Tranquill at the same time. That's how much they believe in Drue Tranquill. And I'm telling you what, if you believe in Drue Tranquill, if you think there's no reason to go out and trade for somebody, Drue Tranquill has got us covered while Bolton was out, well then do me a favor and type DT, because I'm telling you what, I believe in Tranquill, and if you do too, type DT. I love Tranquill. I love him. I think he's really an untapped talent. He came into this Chiefs defense not really expected to play, but guess what? He came in and has performed insanely well. The thing that I don't like is it spreads your defense in linebackers very, very thin and kind of has to move some people around. You have to pull Willie Gay back sometimes. Leo Chenal is going to have to play more of an official linebacker position. How exactly does this move the defense around? Well, I think that's why I want to look at trades, because although I love Tranquill, I think trading could be good just for depth. For a reasoning of you could move people around, you could have somebody to edge rush maybe a little better than Drue Tranquill can, give Willie Gay a couple of breaks, as really it was Tranquill coming in for Willie Gay. He was more signed to be an all-star linebacker playing wherever he was needed to. Well, now you don't have that guy because he's going to have to start at middle linebacker. So we're going to take a look at a couple of trade candidates for the Chiefs that they can look at. But before we do that, I'm going to tell you what you can do right now. You can go to PrizePicks and get a $100 deposit match on your first deposit. If you go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS, it's the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. And I got to be honest with you, it's the only way I play DFS. Players can choose from a vast selection of sports and stat types not offered anywhere else. They can even pick in-game projections after a game has started, which include halves, quarters, periods, and more. And PrizePicks is the largest independently owned daily fantasy sports platform in North America, and it's the easiest way to play daily fantasy sports. It's super simple. You pick 2 or more players. You can go 2 to 6, actually. Then you pick more or less on their PrizePicks projections, and then you can choose flex or power play. Flex, you don't have to get all of them right, but if you choose power play, you can win up to 25 times your money. Now, here's the thing. I can always say, oh, this is what you do, but I'm going to put my money where my mouth is because I love PrizePicks, and I'm telling you, you should too. I'm going to go more across the board here for Thursday Night Football coming up in just a couple of nights. Baker Mayfield, 230.5. Listen, Bills defense has been a bit sketchy for what they were intended to be this year. I'm going more with 230. I think he can get over that. Probably not by much, but he'll get over that. Rashad White, I'm saying he's going to get more than 48.5 yards on the ground. And Stephon Diggs, he's going to score a touchdown. And guess what? With PrizePicks, it doesn't even have to be just receiving. It could be passing. It could be rushing. He could score the ball in any way possible. And guess what? That entry will hit. I'm going with the power play too because, listen, I'm trying to win 5 times my money. I can put those in. It's going to be super simple. And if you want to fade me, you think that's not going to happen, well, then go do it right now because you can go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and then use code CLNS for a first deposit match of up to $100. It's free money. You're literally losing out if you don't go do it. So go to prizepicks.com/CLNS right now. Shout out to PrizePicks. It's daily fantasy sports made easy. Let's go into these linebackers that I potentially could see the Chiefs trading for. Let's start with Brian Burns from the Panthers. And you see that edge. Yeah, I know. He's not technically a linebacker. He's an outside linebacker, edge rusher. But here's the thing. Tranquill, like I mentioned, will fill that middle linebacker role, and Burns can thrive on the outside. He can be moved around and kind of basically labeled as Tranquill was supposed to be. Tranquill was supposed to be used as a guy that can play outside, that can play edge, that can be anywhere. That's why he has 2.5 sacks. He has been a guy who knows how to rush the quarterback. With Brian Burns, now you get that extra added onto it, and it allows Tranquill to focus more on being that Nick Bolton type player where he can kind of drop back and be almost a spy, and that's the way Nick Bolton had liked to play it. Well, here's the thing. You could do that if you get Brian Burns and just leave Tranquill there. Now here's the bigger thing. Would the Chiefs actually pay him after? I don't necessarily think so, because to me, this is one where it is a fix now situation. It's not worried about the future. You're missing Nick Bolton for 2 months. It's about 7-8 games. You don't need to worry about paying someone next season. It's just about figuring out what you can do with it right now. Let's go to our second option, which is a little more pricey. Danielle Hunter from the Vikings, another edge rusher who has been absolutely unstoppable this season. 34 tackles, 9 sacks, 2 pass breakups, and a forced fumble. Yeah, he would be pretty pricey, but golly, he would make this defense more than elite. In fact, he may make it one of the best defenses in the NFL in the past 5-10 years. It would be absolutely incredible to see. I think this one is a little less likely, but overall, I like what I've seen from Danielle Hunter. Again, I know he's an edge, but we're trying to figure out how can we let Drue Tranquill just stick in that middle linebacker role and figure out the edge along with the outside linebackers with these traits. The third one may be the one that makes the most sense in terms of filling Nick Bolton's role, and that is Devin White, the linebacker in Tampa Bay. Now, obviously, like I mentioned, this is the closest comparison linebacker to Nick Bolton on the list, but here's the thing. His stats this year, well, they're not been great. Now, I think that's partially due to the Tampa Bay defense, but 38 tackles, 1 tackle for loss, 2 pass breakups, 1 interception. It's not bad. The bigger thing, though, is he fills a role. He fills that Nick Bolton slot where you can kind of have Tranquill and say, hey, we know that you aren't going to have all this on your shoulders. We're going to have Devin White. Plus, then if you get Nick Bolton back, well, you're going to have 3 linebackers that can play middle linebacker. You're going to be in a great spot depth-wise for the postseason. I want you to pick a trade between one of these 3. Let me know if there's someone on this list you want to trade for and who it would be. If you think it's Brian Burns, then type BB. If you think it's Danielle Hunter, then type DH. If you think it's Devin White, then type DW. I want you to get in the comment section and let me know, because it's an interesting thing to talk about. Let me know who you think. Danielle Hunter is probably my favorite, but again, I think it's unlikely just because he's been absolutely incredible. And this would have made sense literally 24 hours ago. But then the Vikings beat the 49ers, and all of a sudden their season is back. Now it's going to be a little bit harder to get that guy off the hands of the Vikings. They're going to think that they're a good team now. They're going to think that they can make the playoffs, and Danielle Hunter has been a big key to that one. But here's the thing. Danielle is one option that is an edge rusher that is something that you don't necessarily need. But he does compare someone that we have maybe forgotten about. What about Frank Clark? He was reportedly going to sign with the Chiefs this past weekend. Well, I don't know about you, but yeah, it's Tuesday. What happened? This was literally a tweet that came out last week. Former Chiefs defensive lineman Frank Clark will be getting a physical done tomorrow at the Chiefs team facility, which then prompted this tweet from Frank Clark. Link up on Red Friday. I land on Thursday. What happened? He was supposed to sign. There was no report of like a busted physical. I'm just kind of confused. You would think the Chiefs would want to sign him. He's pretty cheap, and his stats with the Chiefs, pretty dang good. Now, again, where he made his money's worth was in the playoffs, but if you're trying to get this team to a Super Bowl, well, why not bring back the Shark? Makes no sense why this didn't happen. I'm just kind of a little confused behind this entirety of the topic. It's just wild. Now with Nick Bolton, though, I think this question looms larger than ever. Should the Chiefs sign Frank Clark? Type Y for yes, type N for no. I want you to get in the comment section and let me know, because it looms larger than ever just for the simple fact that you don't have Nick Bolton. And Frank Clark is listed as a linebacker. Now, I know, again, he's kind of that edge guy like Danielle Hunter, like Brian Burns, but like I said, if you want Drue Tranquill to play that middle linebacker role, you want some depth to fill out the outside spots, fill up the edges. Well, Frank Clark could be that, and he's a cheap and easy thing. Let me know if you think the Chiefs should sign the Shark. Type Y for yes, type N for no. We appreciate you watching today's show as We're trying to bring you informative and entertaining content every single day. Make sure you're subscribed, youtube.com/ChiefsTV. Hit that little red subscribe button. That way you always are in the loop on Kansas City Chiefs content. Peace out.